Here we are, first pike fishing session of 2019. It's a beautiful day so far. It gives it to get a bit overcast and a bit drizzly later on, but it's looking good at the minute. I'm fishing a shallow ridge that drops off into a deep cut behind an island. The wind will push all the bait fish in behind the island into the deeper water. So if you fish just on the edge of that drop off, that's where the pike sit and wait to ambush the roach, perch, bream, trout, eels. Just fishing standard ledger rigs at the minute, standard running ledger rigs. Nothing fancy. This place doesn't need you to fish fancy. But no, it's looking like it's an alright day. Might have to move. The dawn's just broke here, and I can see at the deeper end of this swim there's commercial pike fishing nets. Lough Erne has massive problems between our Eastern European friends that eat everything they catch and kill everything they catch, between the game anglers who kill every pike they catch, between the pollution, the zebra mussels that are making parts of the loch virtually unfishable. And if that wasn't enough, the Lough Erne seems to have more guides on the loch than anglers that fish the loch. It's depressing. It really is depressing to see somewhere that you grew up on and that you have a passion for being so royally screwed, and no one seems to give a damn and no one seems to care. While we're waiting for the kettle to boil and I can get a cup of coffee, I'm going to go through my standard running ledger rig with you. Obviously you have your rod, and your reel. Just set that down. Because we're fishing in a place that's got zebra mussels, I use rig tubing. This is about 18 inches of ProLogic Mimicry rig tubing, and then your line goes out the back of that. That's a 20-pound Nash bullet. So far I'm impressed with it, I am, honestly. I checked the last couple of feet of the line that might be, so just to check if the zebra mussels have touched it, because if they touched it you have to replace it. Coming down to the run ring, that's the run ring. It is a Catfish Pro ceramic run ring. It has a little metal collar on it. It's like the guide of one of your rods that slides through. This doesn't fray the line or braid doesn't cut into it. It's very tough. They're expensive. I think they're like £6 for a packet of 3, but they're well worth it, lads. That slides down to a bead. That bead just covers the swivel. That bead is a fox bead. Fox beads. Just slide that up. Then you have your ball bearing swivel. You have your clip to clip your trace on, and then you have your trace. Now, normally I make all my own traces, but there's a guy out there in Scotland called Gada Baits. He's a good guy. His baits are top quality. I just wish he'd hurry up and get a postal service sorted out so it would take the baits to Northern Ireland, because I think his stuff's very, very high quality. This is one of his titanium traces. It's a 20-inch titanium trace, and I have attached two size 2 owners. I think they're the ST41 patterns. Very strong hooks. These are attached by a little oval split ring. The thinking being, if I have to pull for a break, the hooks will straighten out, and I can replace them because they're on a split ring. The thinking being behind titanium traces is that you don't have to replace them because they don't kink, they're pretty bomb proof. And he's done, I'm not sure if you can see that there, that shrink tubing has glue in the inside of it. It's quite cool actually. When you take the heat gun to it, the glue in the inside melts, the shrink tubing melts, and it kind of locks everything in, so nothing's going to move. Now, theoretically, these traces shouldn't kink. That's the planning behind them. I didn't use them all that much last year. I bought 2 of them from him. I used them a little bit. I had a couple of Jack Pike on them, but I thought I'd give them a fair go this year, just to give them a fair go. In your trace, you're going to put your bait. Simple, nice and simple. You're then going to cast out. Your lead's going to hit the bottom. You're going to tighten down so that your lead will be on the bottom. That'll be on the bottom, and because you fish with the rod tip up a little bit, the line should be lifting off the bottom. The line should be going off the bottom. Don't worry about spooking fish. It doesn't spook the fish at all, but you want your line off the bottom because the zeb muscles will be bad for it. The lead link that I'm using is 4 feet long. It's just 10-pound mono, and at the end of it, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that there, but at the end of it I've tied a couple of knots in it just to weaken it, and that's just your standard 4-ounce distance lead made by Fox or Cora. Leads are leads, I don't mind losing leads. So there you have it. That's my standard running rig setup. Now, you'd cast that out, you'd let it sit in the bottom, you'd tighten up to it as normal. You'd then put your rods into your rod rests, or I guess your vital arms, your drop arms, and then you sit and wait, like we're doing right now, waiting. I'm actually wondering, should I stick around and see if Mr. Commercial Netman comes back for his net, and then maybe I could get some footage of Mr. Commercial Netman dumping back a load of fish that he doesn't want. You know, the byproduct of his trade. Unfortunately, what he calls the byproduct of his trade is what coarse fishermen like me call my sport. 2019, commercial angling on Lough Erne has no place in this system at all. This one's for one of my favourite YouTube anglers. I think the guy's funny as hell. You have to give him a watch. He's called Screaming Delcoms. He's basically an armed forces veteran that's mad. This is for him. We don't care because we've got big fucking knives. Just checking in with yous. It's a bit slow. I've had one jack throw the hooks at my feet. Only about 5 or 6 pounds. I'm kind of glad that it threw the hooks because the water is absolutely freezing and there's now a wind coming in pretty hard, and it's actually cutting. It's actually very cold as well. The wind chills, taking the temperature right down. I've put I got the take on an eel head, so I replaced the eel head with a half a mackerel and bait boated it out into the just where the trench begins to cut in. It's sitting in about 4 meters of water at the minute. I dumped a load of pellets in with it as well, just halibut pellets. pike will come in and they'll be hopefully see the bait and take it. I've thrown the deeper about, and surprisingly the shallower end of this swim is showing lots of small fish. I took a walk down to the deeper end and started through the deeper. I took a walk down to the area that's a lot deeper and took a couple of casts, and on the deeper it showed that there wasn't as many fish in the deep water. Not so sure, but one small pike. I didn't bother trying to catch it on GoPro or anything like that there, because it was just a small jack. But it's all good. I have my brew. I'm going to have a cigar. It's a good day so far. This is one of the handiest bits of kit that I have. It's a microcat bait boat. It's pretty good. As you can see, the hoppers are all remote controlled by this here. You can take your baits out, you can drop your baits, you can put a load of freebies in it, or a load of pellet, or a load of chopped fish in with it. Put all that in the same area. Make one big scent trail, one big area that smells like curry to a piss head for Esox lucius. This one's one of the older models. It could probably do with being replaced, but I can't see that happening, if I'm honest. I think my wife would freak out if I went home and said I want to spend £2 on a carp lounge bait boat. Might be worth just to see a reaction. that's the end of another session. 2 small jack pike, and it proper got me. Yeah, I don't know how I managed to get cut on the palm of my hand with the gill rakers as well, but you give me a good go. There wasn't any point putting a small jack of about 4 pound on camera. Don't want to mess the bugger around that much. I kind of unhooked him and I was standing in the water and let him go again. The other one fell off at my feet. Slow day, but 2 fish. The evening calls for a beer at KFC, I think. Chicken dippers.